Hey, it's DJ from csvape.com. Today we're going to be unboxing the new EVO 75 by Aspire. The EVO 75 kit by Aspire. Aspire is proud to bring you their newest 75-watt kit, an innovative device that brings you a unique look and design with easy navigation through the menu. With a maximum output of 75 watts, it is capable of powering its EVO Tank partner along with most other sub-tanks. The EVO Tank is compatible with the Aspire Atlantis coils, so the user can have more options on coil selection. The EVO 75 requires one single 18650 battery sold separately, which is inserted into the cartridge-style battery door. Cradling the NX75 chipset, it is capable of allowing the user to customize their own firing profile by programming different wattage levels through the firing button holding duration. Comes with the mod, tank. Under here we have the USB cable, coil, tank, replacement tank. So this new Aspire EVO 75 kit, this thing is, I've never seen the design before, and what I'm talking about is basically the battery door. The battery door that this thing has is completely different from what I've ever seen. It comes with the Aspire EVO Tank. This looks very similar to the Clito, but it is shorter and it already has that rubber texture on the top cap to give you grip when you unscrew it. Of course, everyone hates when they get juice on their hands because it does make it hard to remove this top cap. All right, so you have your USB cable, or sorry, USB plug on the side, okay? This is mainly used for firmware updates. I would recommend only using it for firmware updates, but it does say in the manual that you can use that port to charge the actual device. On the front, you have your firing button. On the bottom, you have a W and a T. Now the W switches some modes between wattage, customized button. Well, according to their paper, it does say customizable firing button profiles, which is something that you can actually have it start at a higher wattage and then kind of trickle down as the button is held for a longer period of time. On the right, on the T button, this is pretty much your temperature settings versus, whether it's nickel, titanium, stainless steel. But just to be sure to let you guys know, on the stainless steel mode, it only supports SS316L, okay? That's something that they specify specifically in their manual, so just be sure you're not using any other types of stainless steel other than what's compatible with it. On the bottom, you have your adjustable buttons, minus and plus. Of course, that means wattage down and wattage up, or temperature down and temperature up, along with the screen here that I'll be showing you I'll be showing you what it looks like in a minute. So on the side, you have your Aspire logo. It's kind of hard to see since it's black on black. On the bottom, you have your ventilation holes for your battery. Make sure, of course, you want to be using batteries that are not damaged. You don't want to have any type of shorts or ventilation or venting, sorry, of the batteries that can be very dangerous. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install the battery, and this is basically one of my favorite features of this actual mod. So you slide out the battery door just like this. You have your magnets, one on each side. Well, I would say 3 on each side. And then on the body itself, you also have those corresponding magnets to attract the ones on the door. The battery goes in positive down, okay? You have the spring-loaded pin on the positive end and then a standard stationary pin on the negative side. So right now I'm going to use an LG battery. The way to put in the battery would be to grab it and you're going to put it in positive down. It kind of acts like a cartridge, if you will. So you have the battery, of course, it's printed on the door as well, how the battery is supposed to go in. You have the positive on the bottom, negative on the top. All right, so now that we have our battery cartridge, we can take the mod and actually slide it in. Now I want to show you first things first, before we actually put this battery door on, is there is a feature to choose your language. You can go English or Chinese, and also you can see the version of the firmware on the chip that you're using. So before you put the battery door in, you want to be holding the power button, and while you're holding the power button, you're going to slide in the battery door, and it shows you the Aspire version 2 and then the English or the Chinese. You can kind of choose the option with the wattage up and wattage down buttons. In this case, of course, we're going to be using English, so we'll select the option with the power button, and it takes you to the home screen. Right now it's in wattage mode. It's automated. I was kind of playing with it, so it's random 12.9, but ignore that. If you want to lock the settings, say for example, you don't want the wattage to change on you by mistake, if it's in your pocket or something like that, you're actually going to be holding the W button and the wattage up button. And you can see that, I don't know if you can see on the camera, on the upper right hand corner there is a lock logo that will be closed if the settings is locked, and you can't change anything, but you can still fire the unit. In this case, there's no juice, so I don't want to do that. So we're going to go and re-unlock that, hold the W button and the wattage up button, and that re-unlocks it. Now this unit has a lot of features. I'll kind of go through them and don't want to be too long, but it has a passcode you can actually add onto it. If you have any kids and you don't want anyone else or your friend or something like that to use your mod, you can actually put a passcode on it. In order to activate that passcode, you're going to be hitting or holding the W button and the wattage down button together, and it comes up with this menu here from 0 to 9. And the default code is 000, but it does teach you in the manual how to reset that. So if I were to select, you can kind of move it with the up and down wattage buttons, but if I were to go 000, you can see that there is a huge locking logo, meaning that the mod is completely locked. I can't do anything with it. It doesn't matter what I do. Now, I don't know if we remove the battery and we put it back in and it'll reset. I'm not going to do that, but as of right now, it is completely locked. So we're going to go and re-unlock it, holding the W and the wattage down button, and enter that 000 default code again, 000, and it's unlocked again. So let's see, we have the what the W button also does. Like I said, if you hit it once, it does go into voltage mode, which people usually like to use voltage rather than wattage. They may understand that a little more. Hitting it again goes into bypass mode. Hitting it one more time, that goes into the customizable button profiles. So with this, you're able to, like I said, start the power at a higher wattage and kind of have it trickle down, or you can have it start up high, go low, high, go low, high, go low. In order to activate that menu, we're gonna actually hold the W button by itself, and it takes you into the settings of the customizable button profile. You can kind of change the wattage with the wattage up and down button, but if you wanted to change the seconds, you can go with the T and the W button. So the T would go up. It's in increments of half a second. So say for example, at half a second, I wanted to start off at a certain wattage, and then I go up to 1 second, I can change that wattage. 1.5 seconds, I can change that. So you can kind of have it fluctuate, if you will, and you lock in the selection with the power button. You have 3 total of pre-made customizable button profiles you can set for whatever setup you have. But yeah, and let's go into the tank. I mean, the tank is, as I mentioned, is very similar to the Clito. You have the Aspire EVO coils, but according to the user manual, it is compatible with the Aspire Atlantis coils, so you are not completely out of options when it comes to that. You have adjustable airflow on the bottom. It does not lock in either direction, so for those who like that, it may bother you a little bit, but once you set the airflow, it does have a pretty good amount of restriction, so it will not move. You have your gold-plated 510 pin here at the bottom. It says the Aspire EVO, of course, letting you know what the tank is called. On the top, you have your wide bore drip tip, along with that rubber grommet there for grip. Opening it up, you can take off the top cap, similar to the Clito. You have the top cap here, the O-ring is at the bottom. In order to gain access to the coil, you will have to remove the glass and it pretty much comes off very easily. This is Pyrex Glass, and it does come with a spare in the box. These coils, both of them that it comes with, you have your 0.3 pre-installed into the tank, which is a Clapton, and we have your 0.4, which is also a Clapton as a spare. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and set this tank up. We have the glass already off, we have the top cap already off. I'm gonna go and grab my juice here and prime up the coil. Priming the coil is pretty much the most important part. You wanna make sure that you are saturating the coil properly. And I'm gonna try to show you here on camera. You wanna make sure that we're getting all of the top end of that cotton and inside the middle of the coil to make sure that that cotton cylinder is fully saturated. While that's soaking in, I like to keep my my tank or my coil rotating while this is soaking in to make sure I get all of the spots in the cotton and I don't have any dry spots or half saturated portions, so I don't get that burnt hit because they hurt. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the glass back on. Now we've had our coil primed. The glass is back on, so we're gonna go ahead and fill it up. And if you're wondering, just if you're curious, I'm using Lush Ice by VGod. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. All right, tank is full now. We're gonna go ahead and close this up, put it to the side, get out of the way, because I don't like to knock over juice. Put the top cap back on. Now, when you're screwing the top cap back on, make sure you don't over tighten it. Once the threads start fighting you back, maybe a 1/4 pass snug is all you need. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and screw this back onto the mod. So right now, it's recommended between 40 and 50, so I'm gonna start off at about 45. Turn that up to 45, I'll show you that. And it gets faster as you hold the button for a longer period of time. I'll say 40 watts, how about that? All right, and it's firing pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and take a vape. So as you guys can see, the performance is very prime. I like it. It hits just like very, very close to a rebuildable. But yeah, you can check out the Aspire EVO 75 and other Aspire products on csvape.com. My name's DJ and we're here to help you switch the habit.
Switch the habit at csvape.com.